Good afternoon, attention everyone. We're about to start the speaking program, so if everyone can have their seats. I have to say that actually went a lot better than I thought. So, good afternoon and welcome to Holy Cross inside Blaney Gymnasium at the Hart Center at the Luth Athletic Complex. My name is Nick Smith, the Senior Associate Director of Athletics, and I have the honor to serve as your MC this afternoon. On behalf of the college and our athletic department, we are proud to welcome a range of distinguished guests here to the Luth Athletic Complex, including President Vincent Rougeau, and members of the college's leadership team, members of the Board of Trustees, including Chair Dr. Helen Boucher, Worcester Mayor Joe Petty, and so many more esteemed attendees of the Worcester and Holy Cross communities. We truly thank you for taking the time to spend with us in this special event. It is an honor for all of us today to be sitting in the presence of some of the greatest athletes in school history. When you think about the rich tradition of athletics at the college, basketball is a central piece of that story. And Holy Cross is one of the most successful collegiate programs in the history of New England women's basketball. The 5 Crusader legends we are honoring today become the first female athletes in school history to have their jerseys retired in any sport. Exactly. This is a momentous day, January 28th, 2023, as we honor 5 women who helped set the standard for excellence in athletics at Holy Cross. And we know that today is just one step in continuing to uplift and celebrate the achievements of the talented women in our proud history. Today, you will get a chance to hear from conference champions, All-Americans, Players of the Year, and school record holders. Beyond their achievements on the hardwood, their postgraduate professional accomplishments have been even more impressive. Let's dive right in with our first Crusader legend, Lauren Maney George. Let me give you a little background on Lauren. So Lauren won 3 Patriot League championships with the Crusaders and earned tournament MVP honors in 1995, a 2-time Patriot League Player of the Year, and a 1996 Honorable Mention All-American. She ranks 5th all-time at Holy Cross in points scored, scoring average, and field goals made. Her Holy Cross education has led to a long career in the United States Attorney's Office. Her number 4, always her favorite number throughout her life, and the same number her daughter now also wears, will be raised to the rafters at the Hart Center Arena forever. Lauren is joined today by her husband Steve and children Kayla, Drew, Justin, and Colin. Please join me in welcoming to the stage our first Crusader legend from the class of 1996, number 4, Lauren Maney George.
Thank you very much for coming here today. As my kids can attest, I'm a bit of a crybaby, so we'll see how this goes. Thank you to Kit Hughes and the Holy Cross community, the administrators, for celebrating the women's basketball program with this special day. And to the selection committee, thank you for considering me for this great honor. Congratulations to Kath, Amy, Sherry, and Janet for this honor. I wish Janet were here to spread that huge smile and crack a few jokes, but I feel blessed to share this recognition with her. To be able to play the sport I love for 4 years in college was a dream come true. I love the competition, I love the camaraderie, and I love to win. But as the years have passed, what I value most are the bonds that were created from being part of the basketball program and feeling a connection to players past and present. It's the relationships that have endured that have been the greatest takeaway. I have such great memories from my time at Holy Cross, both on and off the court. The coaches I played for are all such amazing people. Coach Gibbons was such an incredible influence. He established a culture of teamwork and family. He cared for us like we were his own daughters, including the corny dad jokes, and fostered a bond with all of us that could never be broken. His speeches were so passionate. His speeches were so passionate and motivational that you really wanted to run through a wall for him. I actually did that one time, but unfortunately under different circumstances. Coach Greenberg was the best. She was always so insightful and in tune with what we were all thinking and feeling at any given moment. Thank you for helping us grow as players and mature into thoughtful young women. Coach Doyle was a blast. I remember her running us through track workouts in the spring and keeping things light during practices. I have one particularly funny memory of her imitating a blocked punt and kicking a basketball at my shins. Thank you to all the teammates who took the time to come here today. You know this recognition today for us five is really a reflection on all of us. Kim Lynch, my backcourt mate, you were the floor commander who made our team success possible. You were feisty and selfless and so fun to play with. Laurie Carson, such an amazing athlete and the queen of game-winning shots. Chris Porath was my roommate on the road and during winter breaks, and thankfully is still one of my best friends. Kath, I had so much fun playing with you and hanging out together during college, and I'm so grateful that we still do that today. And I apologize for always making you nervous during pregame when my knee was bouncing 100 miles an hour in the locker room next to yours. Amy, we only had 1 year together, but your fearless style of play was something I always admired, and I enjoyed sharing the court with you. And while I can't speak individually about every teammate, I do want to say thank you for all the laughs, all the talks, all the games of spoons, all the wins, and all the memories that made playing hoops at Holy Cross some of the best years of my life. To my family, excuse me, thank you for always supporting me and making so many road trips to be there in the stands. My parents, my sisters, Karen and Annie, and my brother Joe, through countless basketball games, came to countless basketball games and loved and supported me even when I was a sore loser. My basketball career simply would not have been the same without being able to share it with all of you. My husband, Steve, and I started dating during our junior year. Thank you for being patient and forgiving when you took a back seat to school and basketball. Steve also made a few road trips during my college career with my older and protective brother, Joe, which he was advised against but did anyway. I may not have appreciated you as much as I should have then, but I most certainly do now. To my kids, Kayla, Drew, Justin, and Colin, I pray that as you get older, you can find something that brings you as much joy and sense of belonging as Holy Cross basketball did for me. Thank you.
Excellent job, Lauren. Thank you. On to our next Crusader legend. She won 3 Patriot League titles with the Crusaders. She was a 2-time Patriot League Player of the Year, the 1998 Patriot League Tournament MVP, the 1999 New England Player of the Year, and a 1998 Honorable Mention All-American. She ranks second on Holy Cross's all-time scoring list, third in scoring average, third in field goals made, third in free throws made, and fourth in rebounds. She never strayed far from the game of basketball after graduation, whether that was coaching, officiating, or doing color commentary on Holy Cross women's basketball broadcasts. And her lifelong love of basketball will be commemorated forever in the Hart Center. She is joined today by her husband Jay and children Katie and Allie. Let's welcome our next Crusader legend from the class of 1999, number 22, Amy O'Brien DeVasian.
I have tough shoes to follow, Lauren. That was amazing. As some of you know, I'm a Worcester kid born and raised. I grew up in a blue-collar neighborhood off of West Boylston Street, and I attended Worcester public and parochial schools before choosing Holy Cross for college. Candlepin bowling, Coney Island hot dogs, the Worcester Girls Club, the Greendale Y, Sacred Heart Biddy Basketball League, the Wonder Bar, and playing Summer League at Greenwood Park were some of my favorite memories from growing up. My first job was in 4th grade delivering the afternoon edition of the Worcester Telegram and Gazette around my neighborhood after school. My brother and I alternated days, and I remember being so relieved when he had to deliver in a snowstorm instead of me. I love this city, and I'm proud that I grew up here. I love coming back to Worcester, and especially returning to Holy Cross, because it feels like returning home. My Uncle Philip lives on College Street, directly across from the field house, and he began taking me to Holy Cross games, football games in particular, when I was 8 or 9. During the games, I remember drinking hot chocolate in the stands and watching the cheerleaders. I loved their uniforms, their pom-poms, and how they did push-ups every time Holy Cross scored a touchdown or a field goal. And I dreamed of becoming a Holy Cross cheerleader one day. As fate would have it, I had zero rhythm and absolutely no dance ability, so I had to give up on that dream rather quickly. Luckily, my uncle also took me to Holy Cross women's basketball games. I was the young girl in the stands cheering loudly, and I was in awe of the players from the late 80s and the early 90s. I wasn't sure that I'd be playing for Holy Cross one day, but what I did know was I wanted to be like those women. And I set a new, more realistic goal by the time I was in middle school. So here I stand, completely overwhelmed with gratitude and emotion, and I am honored to be sharing this day with my 2 teammates, Lauren and Kath, with whom I had the incredible opportunity to play with and look up to as role models, and Sherry and Janet, who put the Holy Cross women's basketball program on the map by helping to set the standard of excellence. Thank you to Kit Hughes and the athletic department and the college for this honor and for recognizing the accomplishments of the women's basketball program during the 50th anniversary of Title IX. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to everyone who came out to support me today. I am absolutely blown away. My husband Jay and my daughters Katie and Allie, I love you guys so much. You are totally my world. I started dating Jay at the beginning of my senior year here at Holy Cross, so he understands why Holy Cross is so special to me. Uncle Philip, you were always my biggest fan and like a father to me. Thank you for everything you did to make sure I succeeded at all my goals. My mom, Joe, Auntie Elaine, Uncle John, my brother Jonathan, and my sisters Sarah and Jill, thank you for coming to all of my games and for cheering me on. And for always letting me know very bluntly when I totally stunk. There was no mercy in my house. The motto we were raised on was, almost doesn't count, okay? Thank you to my extended family and friends from all walks of my life for coming today. I'm very grateful. Thanks to my Concord Carlisle players, whom I have the pleasure of coaching every day. And my college coaches, Bill Gibbons and Kelly Greenberg. Thank you for creating a culture that was built on relationships, family, hard work, and true team. It was a gift to have you both as coaches, and you are the reason why our teams collectively experience such success. And a huge shout out to Coach Jeff Oliver. You are a first-class act as the strength and conditioning coach at Holy Cross, and you helped to prepare us physically and mentally compete at our highest potential. My 4 years at Holy Cross were never, ever about individual accolades. While I appreciate this honor, basketball is a team sport, and nothing is ever accomplished alone. With that said, my teammates, I love you all, and I'm forever grateful for the memories, both on and off the court, the laughs we shared, and for your friendships. The best thing about this day, and what makes me most excited, is that it brings us all together, and this day is about all of us. I'd just like to conclude by saying the last person I'd like to thank is my grandmother, Mary Karpowicz, who had a huge influence on my life and helped to raise me, my siblings, and my cousin Patrick. She was a stay-at-home mom who lost her husband at the age of 38, and in order to support her 4 children, she took a job as a maid at Holy Cross, where she worked for over 30 years. She loved to attend the men's and women's basketball games, and she enjoyed meeting and chatting with many of the players over the years. She passed away before I committed to Holy Cross, and although she was never able to see me wearing a purple and white uniform, I always felt her presence with me, and I know she would be proud. Thank you to everyone for your support and your love. I'm more appreciative than you'll ever know. Thank you.
Thank you, Amy. Congratulations. Our next Crusader legend. She led the Crusaders to an EAI-AW championship in 1983 and the MAC regular season title in 1984. She earned MAC first team honors in 1984, the program's all-time leading scorer. She was a 4-time Jewish All-American, first team honoree, and the first women's basketball player to be inducted into the Holy Cross Varsity Club Hall of Fame in 1989. Her success as a player has translated directly into her success as a coach. She has enjoyed a successful career at Worcester Academy and guided the USA to a gold medal at the Maccabea Games last summer. She is joined today by her mother, Leona, her daughter, Marcia, and many other friends and family. Let's welcome our next Crusader legend from the class of 1984, number 24, Sherry Levin.
Is right, Amy? You probably don't remember, I got a chance to announce one of your games, and it was very exciting, and literally every other word was, and O'Brien this, and O'Brien that. It was really very exciting. I too have such tremendous gratitude to be able to stand here today, and I do have to say, to celebrate this wonderful recognition here on this court, the George Blaney Gymnasium. I wish George certainly could have been here today, but I have to say that he always treated our women's program as if we were his own players. And I think that also encompassed what Holy Cross really means, not only to me, but to my teammates. Congratulations to all the fellow Jersey retirees, to Kathy and Lauren. I think, Lauren, you were on the games that I announced as well. Amy, and of course, one of my teammates, Janet. What a thrill it is to share this honor, this tremendous honor with you, and to have this distinction for our jerseys to go up alongside each other. But it is true that basketball is all about our teammates. It is about those memories, it is about the relationships, it is about the love that we shared that brought us to where we are today. To the Holy Cross Athletic Department and to Kit, thank you for making this day possible. Yes, it's 50 years after Title IX, 40 years after my career began, but it is great to be able to take a step now forward so that other women will be able to follow. To my teammates, oh, my beloved teammates. I see Laura, right? Kim, best point guard a shooter could ever have. To Jean Marie, I know you're here, I don't see where. To Cheryl, and my other teammates who are not able to make it today, again, my heart is filled with love and gratitude. You were instrumental and are instrumental in helping me stand here and to have always maintained that one should surround themselves with positive people, and I am truly blessed. My jersey may be going up into the rafters, but a lifetime of memories remain in my heart. The game has changed since I played. I actually played only 103 games, no three-point line, with a men's basketball, purple striped tube socks. We did have color, by the way. They were black and white shots. We did have color when I played. Short shorts, those short shorts are back. I marvel at the fact that my records still hold, but records exist for others to shoot for. The way the game should be played has remained the same. Togo, my coach. I did want to also say Marianne Palazzi. I think you're here someplace. There you are. Togo instilled in us a sense of pride and heartfelt love for Holy Cross. With a respect for those who came before and a love for a sport we poured our souls into. I think we needed tissues up here, by the way. Next time. The story behind my decision to attend Holy Cross is a little bit unusual, and it starts with me answering the question that is always asked of me. What's a nice Jewish girl doing at Holy Cross? So back in the 80s, a very different climate for women in collegiate sports. The AIAW was taken over by the NCAA in 1982, and Holy Cross and Father Brooks were promising that we might join the Big East. And Togo Palazzi was just named the women's basketball coach at Holy Cross. So came the call from Togo. He had heard that I had not committed yet, and I was a scholarship player at BC or BU. That was where I was going, so I could be close to home. It was important that my mom and my dad and my sister could come to the games, and not to mention I could give my laundry off on game days. But backing up a bit, my sophomore year in high school, I saw Togo speak at a camp. And I was that kid, like all of us, sitting in the front in awe of the speakers. And I couldn't wait to get home and to say that I want to someday play for a coach like that. And anybody who has seen Togo give a speech knows exactly what I'm talking about. So off we went to visit. My mom and I drove up to campus. For the first time, I stepped on Holy Cross's campus. Togo took us around. I had lunch with Ronnie Perry Jr., which I was the envy of every student. Then Togo took us into a small office, which was in the hockey rink, with a small heater and the cigar smoke that lingered. And I knew in my heart that this was the place for me. I knew that he was the coach for me. I knew that to become the best that I could be, that yes, I wanted to attend Holy Cross and play for Togo. Togo said Holy Cross is committing to the women's basketball program with the hopes of joining a conference for the Big East, but he had to check with Mr. Perry Sr., the AD at the time, that they had not given a full athletic scholarship to a woman athlete at the time. So Togo walked us out and we stood in the Heart Center. I will never forget the clink of the door, and I stood there with my mom. And a few minutes later, Togo came back, he walked out on the court, and he put his hand out and he said, "You got it." So that was that. So as old as it makes me feel, I did become the first woman to receive a full athletic scholarship at Holy Cross. So to thank you, Mr. Perry, and you are here today, which is such a blessing. And to Diane Holt-Berkowitz, who is the Women's Athletic Director, who is here as well, for saying yes. So yes, not only to me, but to these women, the women on the court now, and to all women's basketball tradition at Holy Cross. Togo was my mentor, my confidant. My motivator, and after my career, a friend and a member of our family. When time comes to perspective, my teammates, my friends, my classmates, the cornerstones and the pioneers of this program. And I can look back and I can say that my life has been shaped by my family and my mom, who I could not thank enough for your love and support. You look great. And everything you have given me, I continue to share. To my daughter, Marcia, who has been my rock and my joy through thick and thin, through great times, and giving me strength when I was going through cancer treatments, to the joys of seeing you succeed. She works for Chanel, by the way. I had to get that in there. I am so very, very proud of you. I love you. And especially today, I know my dad will be sitting in his spot, giving me a head nod and a fist bump, right next to Togo. How special that my jersey will hang across the way from my dear coach. I thank you very much.
Thank you, Sherry. Congratulations. And for our next Crusader legend, she was a three-time All-Patriot League honoree and was also named the conference's Rookie and Player of the Year. The two-time Patriot League champion is the Holy Cross all-time leader in block shots and ranks third in rebounds, third in field goal percentage, and 10th in points scored. She continued beyond her Holy Cross education and has enjoyed a successful career as a pediatrician. The significance behind number 33. At a basketball camp, she was nicknamed Ewing, after, of course, Patrick Ewing, and the attachment to 33 stuck. Kathleen is joined today by her husband, Jeff, and children, Jack, Maggie, and Will. Let's welcome our next Crusader legend from the class of 1997, number 33, Dr. Kathleen Courtney Messier.
Thank you so much for this honor. I am extremely humbled and thankful to Kit Hughes and for all of the Holy Cross Athletic Department. I am particularly pleased to be standing here with my forever friends, Lauren Maney and Amy O'Brien. So happy to be in the same company as Sherry Levin, and most honored to celebrate with Janet Horahan as she smiles down on us from heaven. This is nice. This is really nice. I couldn't be happier to be standing here with all my family and friends. It wasn't always this nice or pretty, though. When I first arrived at on the Hill in 1993, Coach had us go down to the weight room to get introduced to the strength coach. I sat there like a nervous wreck and watched all of my teammates rip out 10 to 12 reps of bench press. Kathy, would you like a turn? In my head, I'm like, no way. But I lay down the bench and I start my first rep and sadly cannot get the bar, just the bar, off my chest. We are playing UConn in 3 months, and I have to match up against the Rebecca Lobo, and I can't do 1 rep of bench press. It gets worse. There are several injuries on my team my freshman year, particularly among the forwards, and I find myself starting as a freshman, the girl who can't even do 1 bench press. So the local TV station wants to interview me on camera. And the first question they ask me is, Kathy, how did you become such a good shot blocker? What do I say to that? It's obviously not because I'm good at bench press. This story has been told so many times and by so many different people, and I'm honestly not sure how it really went, but it ends with me saying, my mama was a shot blocker. Who says that? My mama was a shot blocker? So how did we get from there to here? How did these 4 years turn out to be 4 of the best years of my life? More importantly, how did I go from not being able to do 1 rep of bench press to doing 2 reps of a whopping 105 pounds? Thank you, Coach Oliver. And most importantly, for all of you diehard Holy Cross fans out there, how did we finally beat Boston College my senior year? Lauren scoring 36 against Syracuse, Amy going for 38 against number 1 UConn, and my prowess in the weight room may have had something to do with it. But I'd argue it was much more than that, and I know they would agree. It was all the little things. It was my co-captain, Eileen Bradley, never complaining that she didn't play enough and cheering the loudest from the bench. It was Laura Marcisson, training like a madwoman in the off-season. It was Summer Ivan, not showing up at the top of the stat sheet, but arguably giving the most effort on the court. It was Anna Kinney having a wide open layup in the Patriot League tournament and passing the ball to a senior who didn't play that much. It was a true leader like Kim Lynch taking a shy, awkward underclassman under her wing and teaching her how to play with heart and intensity and have fun with the game of basketball. It's about me having close relationships with Jeanette Pockert, Monica Rothmich, and Elisa Zawatskis, despite never playing on the same team as them. It's about all of us having a beautiful role model like Janet Horahan to emulate both on and off the court. All of these little things add up to one big thing, a true team. I will always be so thankful to Coach Gibbons and Coach Greenberg for taking a chance on me. They taught us to appreciate the little things and always put team above all. We didn't care who scored the winning basket. If records were measured by team chemistry and friendship, we would have been undefeated. Honestly, that's the only record I care about. So my senior year, we had Midnight Madness at the Hart Center to kick off the season. It was packed, or at least that's how I felt as I nervously stood at the corner of the gym, waiting for the announcer to call my name to lead the team out for layups. And now, Patriot League preseason MVP, Kathy Courtney. I lead the team out, dribble down the court to do my layup, and proceed to clank the ball off the bottom of the rim. No backboard, no net, just the bottom of the rim, and then right back at me. In front of a packed gym. I mean, there must have been at least 37 people there. I wanted to die. I wanted to run out of the gym and never come back. But it was Coach Greenberg's smile and 9 of my best friends patting me on the back that kept me going that night at the Hart Center and continue to keep me going 25 years later. I would be remiss in leaving here today if I didn't thank my parents for giving me the opportunity to go to Holy Cross and teaching me the value of hard work. I'd particularly like to thank my mom for being such a good shot blocker, or else I wouldn't be here today. I'd also like to thank my younger brothers, Kevin, Mike, and Pete, who dropped everything to be here today, just as they always have. And for my husband, Jeff, and my children, Jack, Maggie, and Will, who are my rocks. I'm grateful they still listen to my Holy Cross stories. I can only hope and pray that they have the opportunity to be a part of a team coached by amazing people like Bill Gibbons and Kelly Greenberg and are blessed with incredible teammates like mine. Thank you again, and let's get a big W over Army today.
Thank you, Kathy. Congratulations. And now for our last Crusader legend of this spectacular group. She competed on Crusader teams that compiled a record of 81-27, including an EAI-AW championship, a MAC championship, and a bid to the 1985 NCAA tournament. She ranked second all-time at Holy Cross in rebounds and fourth in points scored, and was the first player in program history to record over 1,000 points and 1,000 rebounds. A three-time first-team All-MAC selection, she was named the New England Player of the Year, MAC Player of the Year, and MAC Tournament MVP in 1985. Janet passed away on September 19th after a brave battle with cancer. Her teammates and loved ones remember her as kind, compassionate, enthusiastic, competitive, loyal, funny, and positive. An incredible wife, mother, and most of all, an incredible person. Here in Janet's honor today are her husband, Bill, and children, Dan, Ryan, Joe, and Mike, as well as her sister, Lisa. Please welcome to the stage to speak in honor of number 45, Janet Horahan Brooks, her sister, Lisa Jackson.
Thank you, everyone. This is a little bit impromptu, but I want to thank Sherry and Lauren for bringing the tears before me. I appreciate that. This is incredible, and this is why I love Holy Cross and why Janet loved Holy Cross. She would have been so overwhelmed and humbled by the people that showed up today to celebrate her and these other four amazing basketball players. Congratulations, Lauren, Amy, Sherry, and Kathy. You all deserve this great honor. What an honor it is for me to be representing Janet. I was lucky and blessed to have played with her at both Needham High School and here at Holy Cross. And when I say play with her here at Holy Cross, I watched her from the bench. Thank you, Holy Cross and Kit Hughes, for recognizing 50 years of women in sport. Janet was thrilled to be a part of this initial group of women being celebrated, and she so wanted to be here today. We are grateful that she got the news shortly before she passed away. We know that Janet, our father Tom, Togo Palazzi, Father Brooks is probably there too, and now I know Sherry's father's there too, are beaming, watching as number 45 is going to be hoisted to the rafters alongside 4, 22, 24, which was Janet's number in high school, and number 33. We know Janet is being honored because she had amazing basketball stats, most notably the first player, man or woman, to score 1,000 points and grab 1,000 rebounds in her career. And if they only had the three-point shot back in the olden days, Sherry, you and she probably would have had a few more points. But she was so much more than the stats and the accolades. She was the ultimate teammate and the ultimate team player. She was respected on and off the court and was a fan favorite to so many. I look around and I see so many of her teammates here today, and not just from Holy Cross, but from all the teams that she played for, she coached, or was associated with. And just to give a shout out to a few of you, Needham Rockets, Dudley Youth Soccer and Basketball, Holy Cross Crusaders, Just for Kicks, Freak Magnets, Team Horahan, and her most treasured team, Team Brooks, Bill, Dan, Ryan, Joe, and Mike and their families. She was beloved by all and was still very close with many of her teammates and classmates. And as I look around, I see many of them here today, Sherry, Laura, Grutch, I'm not sure if Sue Love's here, Jean Marie, Kim, maybe TQ, Lily, Mo, Julio, Jen, Lizzie Fitz, little Lizzie, Joanne. I was gonna say Lizzo, and my husband said, don't say that, but Joanne and Kevin, Denise, Liz, Christine, Rose, and Beth, to name a few. Janet had a positive and lasting impression on those she played with, against, and even those Crusaders who came behind her. Here's a fun story that some of you may or may not know. Janet used to get banged up, like you all know, during the games, and the trainers would load her up with a couple bags of ice. She'd take back to Alumni Hall for her ankles or whatever else was ailing. Little did they know, the ice went straight into their blender named Debbie. Like, who names their blender, right? to whip up some post-game vodka slushies with friends and teammates because they needed to replenish their fluids after a hard-fought battle, right? And they were pretty good. I got to have one back in the day. Janet loved Holy Cross and was grateful for the education she received, the opportunity to play the game she loved so much, and the lifelong friendship she made. Mr. Perry and Diane Holt, thank you for leading the way during the early days of Title IX and providing many of us here today the opportunity to play Division I sports at an outstanding academic institution. To all the coaches, most notably Togo and Billy Gibbons, the coaching staff, trainers, managers, teammates, and her friends, you made those 4 years on the Hill some of the best in Janet's life. And Holy Cross provided her a foundation to lead a meaningful life. To my siblings, Tom, Karen, Kathy, and Lynn, you were always there to support Janet during her high school, college, and especially during the last 6.5 years while she battled cancer. She truly appreciated you for that. And Mom, you were one of the most vocal and feared fans across the Bay State League and the MAC League. No one could holler at a ref quite like you. You and Dad were incredible fans and never missed a game, and you had the best post-game goodie bags for the team, much to Togo's dismay. Your unconditional love and support were and are unmatched. Janet loved and appreciated you and Dad more than you'll ever know. Janet, you are missed, you are loved, and your legacy will live on. This is for you, number 45. Our Lady, Queen of Victory, pray for us.
Thank you, Lisa. Congratulations, Janet. And to provide our closing remarks, our Associate Vice President for Intercollegiate Athletics, Kit Hughes.
Thank you, Nick. Wow. Unbelievable job by our honorees, and just what an incredible feeling of love. And Lisa, phenomenal job. That was incredibly special. Thank you. I hope that the honorees have a chance to look around and reflect a little bit on the turnout and the energy and the love in this room and what it means for the legacy that you've left here at Holy Cross and in the world around you. Unbelievable. Today is indeed a landmark day for the college and our athletic program, not just in support of the 50th anniversary of Title IX, not just in support of the 50th anniversary of coeducation at the college, but in support of celebrating and honoring outstanding achievement of all kinds, in support of inclusive excellence, of comprehensive excellence, in recognizing excellence that has long been a standard and raising it high where it should be. Kuzi, Courtney, Heinsohn, Horahan, Kaftin, Levin, Foley, Maney, Palazzi, O'Brien, and the great Ron Perry, who's here with us today. Both of them. They wouldn't miss it. As excited as I was to call our honorees this fall and share with them the good news, I really could not have prepared myself for those calls. Each displayed such joy, honest and real emotion, and a deep gratitude for their Holy Cross experience. Clearly nothing stands out more than my call with Janet. She immediately turned the spotlight to others, immediately shared a kindness and genuine appreciation for those who had helped her arrive at that day, minimized her ongoing battle, and defiantly exclaimed, "I will be there." Learning later where Janet was in her journey, that comment really stands out to me. A Crusader to the end, and I think we all know that she's indeed here with us in this space today. To stay on the theme of excitement, I have some important news to share. In the spirit of Holy Cross's commitment to empowering and supporting women, and in celebration of the 50th anniversaries of Title IX and coeducation at the college, I'm excited to announce that we've launched the Crusader Athletics Women's Excellence Endowment. This endowment was established to honor 50 years of excellence from Crusader female student athletes and coaches and inspire others to enhance the resources available to support excellence for the next generation of female leaders. Supporting women's excellence in perpetuity, this endowment will address our highest priorities related to scholarships and personnel needs, and the funds will be applied across all of our women's programs to attract talented students and coaches to make a positive difference on our teams and community. With that, I'm incredibly humbled and grateful to share with you today that Sue Power Curtin, class of 1993, and Mike Curtin, class of 1991, have stepped forward to make a leadership commitment of $250,000 to establish this endowment in honor of all female athletes and inspired by the great character of Janet Horan. Thank you, Sue and Mike, for your leadership and vision of sustained and comprehensive competitive success for women's athletics on the Hill. We have a tremendous opportunity. And with the commitment of Crusader Nation, I know we will exceed our goals and allow the Women's Excellence Endowment to elevate the experience for our female student athletes and women's programs forever. Thank you all for joining us today. Thank you for your ongoing support of Crusader Athletics. This concludes our program, and tip-off is certainly upon us. So I encourage you all to head to the Hart Center and support our incredible Crusader women's basketball team. To the honorees, this is your day. This is just the beginning, and we're so excited to be here with you. Congratulations.